Hi, welcome to this webinar. If y'all go ahead and mute yourselves so we don't get any background interference. My name is Nathan Hay, and I've been with ATG just about 6 months, but I came from 10 years background in Autocad and Revit design and mostly electrical. Most recently, before that, I did mechanical and plumbing. So I've done all kinds of buildings, and I just got sick of deadlines. So I said, let's go to the reseller and the training route. So I'm over here at ATG and I'm really liking it. Just got out of a 3-hour training session on how to do Revit for electrical, and it was step one. This is how you open Revit. So mouth is a little dry. I'm excited to start over here. This is actually going to piggyback off of a webinar I did, I think in November, and you can get that on our YouTube channel. But we're picking up here with a plan that's already set up. It's a project in Revit that was started from scratch and is ready for an electrical design in it. So if you don't know how to set up a Revit model, if you don't know what to do with an architect's Revit model, if you don't have a template, you need to go back and start over at that one. But if you're past that and you can set up a project, you just need some tips. This one will give you some good stuff. So we're talking about designing a power distribution system in Revit using out-of-the-box OOTB, out-of-the-box components only. If you buy the Mep Productivity Pack from ATG, it's a content package that basically gives you the rest of Revit that should have come for MEP engineering consulting firms. There's a whole nother way of doing things that's so much easier. But if all you've got is Revit and that's what you've got to work with, then this is the place for you. And this will teach you how to use it too. Today, we're going to model a site plan, an actual electrical room. We're going to circuit some panel boards and create some panel schedules. We're going to do a single line diagram, and we're going to try to put these on some sheets. We'll see how far we can get in an hour. All right. Before I go, you'll want to go to atgusa.com/whitepapers, click on the Revit button, and then download these 3 PDFs. This one was the webinar I did November. This is the one we're doing today. And this one will get you the rest of the way to actually PDFing your documents so you can deliver something. So head to atg.com/whitepapers and download each one of these 3 and work your way through those. Today, I'm just going to blast through how to do this stuff because I'll try to take questions at the end, but we will have this recorded. So I'm not sure how we advertise those, but it will be recorded. You know what? It'll be on our YouTube channel. That's where it is. You can get all our old webinars on our YouTube channel. Just search for ATG USA on YouTube, and you can find so many. There's plenty to get you through boring days without deadlines. So let's get started. Let me turn off this PowerPoint thing. And I am in Autodesk Revit 2020. And you're looking at an AutoCAD site plan imported back here. It's a civil site plan. And you're looking at an architectural Revit model brought in. And they're just connected in like XREFs and AutoCAD. And I'm just showing you the 3D view because it's impressive, right? But as electrical designers, we don't care very much. So let's get over to a site plan. You got a site plan set up. And let me see, let me get over to my notes. So our goal is to complete a set of printable construction documents of a simple 277Y 480 volt 3-phase 4-wire commercial office building, starting from a default session of Revit with only out-of-the-box components, right? A lot of the stuff Revit comes with is just not ready for us to use. It is an incomplete product, but that's why ATG is here. We sell the MEP Productivity Pack that basically is the rest of Autocad. So ask your salesman about that, and look for it on our website, Productivity Pack. But you know, electrical designers and engineers, we've opened Revit to start a relatively basic commercial building design, only to find that what we need is not already there. There's no readily available documentation showing us what we need, and we certainly don't have time to figure it out before the deadline. So together, we're going to take what's given out of the box. I mean, I'm a few steps down the line as far as setting up the project, but usually you can get an architect friend to help you do that. And so we're going to create a basic electrical project here. Okay. So I may not explain why I'm doing something the way I'm doing it. I'm just going to show you how I do it. There's usually many ways to accomplish the same goal, especially in Revit. I've just chosen how to complete this project based on industry best practices, what I've done at previous engineering firms, and actually what can be done with Revit quickly using out-of-the-box components. Somebody said, can you automatically size wires as you do your design? I said, well, sure, but that takes some significant setup in Revit. You can't just go do it. They give you the means, but to figure out how to do it yourself, you either got to call ATG or buy that productivity pack, or find a YouTube video that's actually good enough to show you how to do it. So I'm starting with a project that's already set up. You'll see over here that I've got a site plan. I've got 2 floors. I've got a roof. I've even got my ceiling plans all set up in Revit. I've got sheets created, things on the sheets. And so it's ready to go for my electrical design. All right, let's just start here, diving in. If you have questions in Zoom, there's both a chat, I think, and a Q&A. Just type them in there. I will do my best to look at that and answer them for you as we go along. But for now, let's just go. Here's my site plan. Site plan set up. This is my building. I do happen to know that this is my electrical room. Back here. This guy is my electrical room. I'm looking for the name here. Elect room. It's not tagged or anything. I just know that from looking at the architect's plans that they sent me so I could review them. So, and I know that this is the main street, and I don't know, this is their property, right? They've got a property line, and so we need a utility transformer. Let's just start at the beginning. Systems, electrical equipment. You know what, before I even do that, let's load up the families. So we have this project, but we may not have things to put in there. So we want to load families in this Imperial library here. You go to your electrical. Don't do architectural. Always load MEP families. We're going to bring in all this stuff. I think it's already in here. May not be. If it's not, you need to bring this stuff in, because otherwise you won't even have anything to work with. So I'm at Insert, Load Family, Imperial, could be US, might be English, depends on the version of Revit you're using. Going back to electrical, MEP. I did connectors last time. I'm doing electric power. Man, you really got to go through all this stuff. But what I really need is a wet type transformer. That's what I'm getting at here. I need to put a utility transformer in, but I got to load these things into my project. If you're an AutoCAD user, it's just like bringing in the blocks you need. These things are here, buried, right? But you got to bring this stuff in order to use it. And again, this is out of the box. If you tried to just open Revit and do anything, you'll wonder, where's the stuff I need? Well, it's in here. Here's your receptacles. All right, I recommend, if you miss something, come back and watch the recording at 2x speed, where I don't have pauses in what I'm saying. And you can pause the video and see what it was I was clicking on and go, oh, that's where he loaded those things from. So got connectors, I got my electric power loaded, information communication. Do I need any of this stuff? I'm not doing any of this right now. This is just basic stuff. So I'm going to stop loading families. But now they're actually in the model. You can't see them, but they're in there. So I want to place that utility transformer. I'm thinking, how about we hide it? If you're driving in and out, we'll hide it behind the bushes over here. So I'm going to go to Systems. It's electrical equipment. And then I click this big button over here. You'll see I've got my properties on the left side, project browser on the right. This is almost like your XREF manager. And this is almost like your layer manager if you're an AutoCAD user. And I just have it on one screen because I'm sharing my screen with you. But if I'm doing design, these things are off on my other monitor. So I'm looking for a transformer here. So I'm going to type transformer and see what pops up. Well, I got transfer switch. Let's type a little more. Dry type. Nope, nope, nope. Switchboard. Here's the wet type. Let's just go with a big one. I have no idea. It's just a placeholder until I talk to the utility company. So you zoom in. I'm just scrolling my mouse wheel to zoom in on this view of site plan electrical, and it wants to point it that direction. I'm going to hit the space bar and rotate this guy, and we are just going to put it right on the property line. Let's see, if that's the electrical room, we're going to put a safety disconnect on the outside of the building because the city makes this, and we can't run conduit through trees. So I'm dragging over here. Looks like a good spot to me. So there's my transformer. Let's give it a name. So I click on it. Coming over here to panel name. It's hidden. It's not the first thing. You'd think it'd be the first thing. I'm just going to call it utility transformer. Now I want to tag that. It's not AutoCAD where I have to type text. I'm not going to type utility transformer. I want to tag the thing. I want to annotate, tag it, and click. And look at there. How about that? Very smart. If I change it to util transformer, it changes it in both spots. Gotta love that, right? It has a leader line. Let's turn that off up here or over here. And we'll just bring that down and place it right there. All right, now I need that safety disconnect on the side of the building, right? So let's do that. Systems, electrical equipment, click that plus. It lets me do a little search. I'm gonna type discon combination starter, disconnect switches. Let's do 480 volt non-fusible 400 amp, right? Typical commercial. Can't see what it's doing. It wants me to stick it on a wall. So if this was my electrical building, then this looks like a nice little wall to stick it on. There we go. It's a symbol. Very nice. Thank you for the symbol. It's actually a 3D thing. If I click on it and then click this funny little selection box rectangle and then double click my mouse, you can see it's actually something on a wall. There's the wall. It's just cropped so you can't see it, but this thing shows up as this nice little symbol for me right here. All right. The next thing we're going to need is a conduit from here to here with that note we usually have to put that says, you know, what size it is, or hey, refer to the single line or verify route. So we're going to do a conduit. So I'm up here on systems. I see a conduit. I click conduit. It says middle elevation. We'll just put it on the ground. We're not doing 3D stuff necessarily. Nobody's buying the model from us. We're just doing PDF plans. So I'm putting it on the ground. 2-inch diameter. It's just going to show up as a line on this plan. So I'm going to click just near it, and then I'm going to run it over and click near. So that's actually a conduit. You know, if you want to see it in 3D. See if I can change this to something better than just the black. Anyway. Well, it's actually a conduit. It's a thing with elements in an elevation. So it's a 3D element. But on this plan, it's literally just annotate text. And we're going to say verify, well, coordinate exact routing in field. That's my text. It's 1/4 inch aerial. I don't want 1/4 inch aerial. I need 332. There we go. And I'm going to put this here. It's just like your M text. And up here, I can add a leader and point that sucker at the line, give myself a landing. Done, right? Maybe I need something over here. Let's name that. Let's see, what happens? Tag it. It's a question mark. So now, goodness gracious. See, this is what happens to Revit out of the box. Why doesn't it tag it with what it is? It ought to. So I've selected the tag. So how did I tag it? Annotate tag by category, TG. So I tag it, and it gives me a question mark, even though it is something. It's a 40 volt NF 400. So how do I get that? Well, I could change the type of tag. Okay, well, that's better than a question mark. It's a 3. So I click on it. Where's that 3? Mark is 3. All right, let's change that to service disconnect. Okay, good. Now we got this tag. Now on our single line later on, we can size the service disconnect because we don't have any sizes on this. We don't want any sizes here because we don't want to have to track it in 2 places. But there we are. So this is our site plan. And I'll go down to the sheet here. And let me delete it off. Here's the sheet, just title block. I'm going to take the site plan, drag it over, plunk it on the sheet, and you're good to go. Maybe you need to crop it. You got site lighting you'll have to add to this eventually. You'll have general notes you want to put up here. That's all stuff we can do later. But for now, we have got our basic site plan that's going to get us through the initial scope, initial approval process. All right. Let me see, where do we go after this? We want to go to our electrical room. So we've got our utility transformer, bring in our service to service disconnect, and then they're going to hopefully come through to this electrical room here. So let's go to a floor plan view to do that. I have floor plan level 1. There's the electrical room tag. Now I know that it's really there, right? And it's still showing me this because this is this stuff. It's the same items. In Autocad, it may or may not be, depending on how you drafted it. So it's the same stuff. So if we're down here in our electrical room, I'm looking around, got our front doors, lobby, break room, office, data. What's this back here? Just big open space. All right, storage room. So I'm just going to start working in here because that's my next step, is just to get some panels in here. But I really would like, if I go to my power plan on my sheet, this is the power plan. You'll see a bunch of receptacles and stuff around. I'd like to enlarge that and put a little enlarged view here. This is already at an 1/8 inch scale, but let's do a 1/4 inch. So back to the power plan. If you go here, if you're an AutoCAD user, this is paper space, and that's your viewport. The viewport is the view. You can double click to go in it. It won't screw anything up if you zoom in. You don't have to hit that little padlock down here. And I can work in that. I can right click, deactivate view, and go back to model space, or paper space. That was model space. Deactivate paper space. Revit doesn't use those at all. So you'll end up dropping that terminology eventually. But for now, we're just going to leave it at that. So I'm going to go back to the view, and like it would be clicking the tab to the actual plan here. So here I am, and I want to make an enlarged view. Hey, I just noticed, Chris, you asked, do I need a conduit connector in the family? Yes, if we're going to connect conduit. I usually don't draw conduit. Sometimes we do. Usually that's just a single line thing. This, I'm not even connecting it to this equipment. I could figure out where it connects and try to make it. But for the level of design, level of modeling most electrical engineers are being paid to do, that's sufficient. And notes will carry the day. Specs will carry the day. If we're going to get more advanced and do more conduit routing and connecting and having to show big stuff, yeah, absolutely. You need to load those families. But for what I'm doing today, nah. All right. Let's make an enlarged view. So in AutoCAD, I don't remember the steps, it's been so long, but in Revit, watch this, view, call out, zoom around it, double click the circle. It's already 1/4 inch over here, and I'm done. That's my room. It named it level 1 call out 1. Let's right click and rename that, and we'll call it elect room enlarged plan. There we go. Let's go put it on a sheet before we forget. Power plan level 1. I'm going to grab this and just drag it over, and we'll put it up here. There it is. So watch what happens when I put a panel in this room. So systems, electrical equipment. Let's see, let's narrow this down to panel. Okay, lighting and appliance, 280, 208, I'm sorry, 208, 480 volt. We got 4 options here for panel boards. We could go MLO surface, MCB, MCB surface, any of these amp types. We put a 400 amp disconnect on the outside. Let's just go with that. We'll go with MCB for convenience inside because it's not close to the wall. And we'll go with surface because we get an electrical room. So there, I picked that one, and I'm just going to stick it here on this wall. Pretty straightforward. This little button up here makes thin, like it, thin or thick lines. If you're a plumbing designer, you'll want thin lines a lot, but as a electrical, you need it thick. And it just shows you the background's grayed out, and this is black, you know? What is this thing? This is a 480 volt, 400 amp, but it needs a name. I don't know, H for high. How about that? High panel. And then I'm going to tag it, annotate, tag by category, click there. That actually worked right the first time. It is H. Don't need a leader. Turn that off. There. Okay, I got my 480. Now I need a transformer. Systems, electrical equipment, transformer. Now we need a dry type. We need a 480. Well, we don't need a 1000 kVA. How about just a 75, but not a wet. We just need, we'll just go this basic type 2, indoor 75 kVA. Again, just like that other one, I can rotate it, and I need to be about 6 inches from all the sides. So that looks about right, right? Let's get you this guy a little closer. And there's my transformer. We'll give it a name. It's still called panel name here, but we'll just call it transformer T. All right, and I'll tag it. I went too fast on that. I use TG on my keyboard. You can go to annotate tag category, or you can use typing TG. And I don't want a leader. I'm tired of leaders. So uncheck there. There's my transformer. Now I'm going to do some low voltage here, 208. Same thing, systems, electrical equipment, and type in panel. Now let's pick, we still want to go surface. It's coming off a transformer, so we might as well go MCB. Let's do 400 amp, sure. It's going to be a 300 amp because of the size of the transformer, 75 kVA, but we'll fix that here in a minute. I'll show you what we're doing. MCB rating is 400. Mains, we need to flip that, I think. Mains, it's rated at 400. The MCB is going to be 300 because of the way 75 kVA transformer sizes your overcurrent protection on the secondary side. So we need to tag this. Let's just call it L1, low voltage 1. TG for tag. I tagged it, and I'm going to drag it out here. Looking good. I need 2 more of those. Well, first, I need 2 more of those. But before I copy it, let's set it up correct. Let's see. Scrolling down. Okay, number of poles, number of breakers. We need 42. We want a 42 pole slot. This stuff, none of this really matters. Short circuit rating, we'll go 10K. It's a 122.8Y. The rest of this stuff we can ignore for now. So it's pretty much set up. So I'm going to copy this guy. Copy button up here. I reprogram my keyboard shortcuts for CC for copy. Just that way I don't have to type CO and move my hand across the keyboard. But we'll kick that. I want to select multiple. See that right there? You'll miss that, trust me. So click in here. And we're going to put another one there and another one there. All right, let's move these all down. It's getting a little crowded. Let's see, up against that corner. So they don't show you clearances out of the box stuff. There's no clearances. This one we're going to call L2. I just slow clicked that and it let me change the name. I could also click on it, come over here and rename it to L3. So now we have a high, we have a transformer, and then 3 208 3-pole panels. All right, what we want to do now is power these things. And what's in my head, just because I've done these buildings a million times before, I know that they're calling these tenants B and C. So we're going to need a house panel. We're going to need the person that is in here. We'll combine that with the house panel, and then we're going to have a tenant panel and a tenant panel. So what I'm doing is these are basically going to be your house and your tenant, the one that owns the building, and then this will be tenant 2 and tenant 3. And so we are going to circuit this to the transformer and the transformer to the H, and then this is going to come off L1 and this is going to come off L1, and we can submeter them at the panel board level. But the air conditioning will all be circuited here, and so you would just have to do a square footage thing if you were the owner on how to bill your tenants. All right. How do we circuit these things? I got them in there. It's almost a miracle I got this far, right? Let's see what this looks like in 3D. Just curious. Oh, not bad. Yep. Think you can fit 42 circuits in that giant thing? Yeah, whatever. We're not 3D designers, are we? We're electrical designers. So there it is. That's our electrical room. And we need to do a few little settings. Let's double check H here. Okay, I'm scrolling down, checking the electrical circuiting section. Max pole breakers, we need more. Let's go with a full 42 size panel. Okay. Match our rating to our MCB. And our distribution is 480. Our short circuit, suppose I did this and I determined that it needs to be 35K. So we'll just put 35K there for now. 4-wire, 3-phase electrical data 480. That came in when I put that there. So it's ready to be circuited. Let's check the transformer. Over here on the left, looking down here, distribution 480. Where do I tell it the other side is 208? Way up here, right? You know, whatever. We'll just put our drop down and it comes built in. You can tell it's a 120/208Y system. So that sets up the secondary. That allows us to connect L1 to this thing. This guy, notice how number of 1-pole breakers is 3. That's usually default. If you're going to break 2 off of that transformer, you can change it to 6, and then you can connect 2. But we're just doing the 1. The L1. This one's categorized 208. It looks all ready to go. So this one, we got everything set up, so we're all ready to go. So I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to go H. I just clicked it, and up here is a power button that shows up. And then it says, where do you want to connect it? Well, I was going to connect it to the utility transformer, but I forgot to set it up. So let's go to the site plan. Click on it. See the secondary distribution like we were just looking at for the inside transformer? We need to change that to 480. Now watch this. When I go back to my power plan large room and I click that, and then up here that power button's gone because I already clicked it. It's now a tab. The panel I could pick is still not there. Okay. Back to our site plan. Click on that. Oh, it doesn't have a distribution system set up. It doesn't have any breakers. So gotta change this thing a little bit to make it work. Again, I'm doing out of the box stuff, right? Revit's just not ready for us out of the box. All right, I can't connect it to the utility transformer without doing something else. So forget it. We don't schedule, we don't schedule utility transformers, so it's not really important that it goes all the way back. The panel schedule I create for H will have a sum of all the loads, and that's sufficient for our construction documents. So can't connect H to anything above it right now. I know there's a service disconnect, but I was just going to skip that. That again is just covered in your single line diagram, and hopefully we can get to that. So I want to circuit the transformer to H. So I got all the settings right. I'm going to click the power panel, and there's H right there. Click. So now it's telling me we're connected to H. I want to connect L1 to T. So I'm going to click power panel. I could connect it to one of my subs, but I don't. I want to go to T. So L1 is connected to T, and then these two are coming off of L1. So I'm going to click power. Do I want to enable feed through lugs? There aren't enough slots. What is going on? What did I do wrong here? 42. Oh, it was automatically trying to connect to the transformer, and that's why it gave me that error. But I don't want it to go to the transformer. I want it to go to L1. L3, power, there, L1. If I click T, I'll get that error again. Can't connect the panel T. Well, there aren't enough slots. I told it there were 3. And do I want to do feed through lugs? No, we don't. We just want to connect to L1. So I'm canceling, and it's actually going to connect to L1. All right, where do we see that information? Can I click the make single line button? No, Revit does not do that. But we can do some panel schedules and double check that we're all connected. So I'm clicking on H, and it pops up right up here, create panel schedules. Click that, sure, use the default. Branch panel H. All right, it's got my 42 circuits. It's got the 35 I put in, the mains, the MCB you saw me enter, its surface, it's type 1. All that information's up at the top. Here is T. When I click the power button and circuit, it connected it to H, and it put it on H. You'll notice that the trip defaults to 20 amp, and it's just going to do that for you on anything you circuit. You just got to come in here and fix it. I think it's 125 for a 75 kVA transformer. And we're going to go ahead and make this a little easier to read. So transformer T, 125 amp. There's no load on it. I mean, we do have something circuited to it, but there's no receptacles or lights or anything. All right. Go back to the electrical room. You don't make panel boards for transformers. You just have a table. So L1, let's make a panel board. So I just click it up at the top, create panel schedules, use default. There's L1. And look at that. There's all the information we put in. 300 amp MCB, 400 amp rating. Here's panel L2. I'm going to make that a little clearer. Panel L2. And over here's panel L3. I don't know. I think, what did we decide? I'm going to decide that these are both just simple 100 amp panels. You think that the trip number would be brought in from the MCB rating on the panels that we've already got, but no, this is like just a text field. It's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. So if I go back to my room and L2, okay, remember I copied L1 and L1 and it became L2 and L3. That's why these are so high. So we're just going to make these two simple 100 amp. We don't need that many. Let's save some money and go to 24 pole. I don't know. I don't remember if that's even something for sale, but 100 amp. 100 amp. Go back to H. So that's kind of crazy, right? If we go with on H, you see how this says 125? That's not what I wanted. Yes, it is. It's 125 on the primary. It'll be 300 on the secondary. That's this one right here. Okay. So this is panel L1 is a 300 amp, which carries 100 amp for this tenant and that tenant. So each tenant gets 100 amps low voltage. With LED lighting, that's usually sufficient, but size it the way you need to. You can always adjust it later. Notice here that my H is trying to do some math down here, but there's just no load anywhere. That's because we haven't circuited anything with a load to it. So let me hop over to the power plan. Haven't saved it recently. Don't want to save? Nope, I'm just gonna risk it. Y'all better save though. All right, here's my conference room. Let's start with some receptacles. All right, systems, device, electrical fixture. What do I want? I think I just want the standard duplex. Okay, zooming in. I'm gonna go real simple here. Put one on this wall, one on this wall. I guess one below the windows. I have to double check I can actually do that, and one here. All right. Where are they going to put their monitor? Let me delete this word space. That's easier. Okay, got those. They always want me to show a data device. So back up here, data, just a plain triangle. Let's say, I don't know where the TV is going to be, but let's say they're going to put it at this end of the room. So there's my data port for my TV connection. All right, we've got this. So what you're seeing, if we go to our power plan level 1, you're gonna zoom out, they're gonna see this. The contractor's gonna see that in there. So I could double click and work inside this viewport thing. So let me circuit these things. Oh, see how this call out's telling you that it's detail 2 on this sheet? It's pretty nice of Revit to do that. All right, so we're gonna circuit these 4 receptacles to this L1 panel. So click, control, holding down control so I can select them all. There's a power button. Double checking over here. My electrical data is 180. Let me hit this edit type. If you're looking for more information, it's in here. It's a 180. Our load classification out of the box is receptacle. It'll be 120 volt or 18 inches off the ground. That's fine. All right, so it's good to go. So I'm going to click power, and it automatically picked the first open low voltage. So see how this little wires are there showing that? If you want those wires to stay, you click arc wire, but that's kind of going the way of the dodo with wires because it just clutters the plan. What we're going to do is we're going to tag. So annotate, tag by category. Well, it's only showing me the panel. You see how the L shows up way over there? Let me turn on the leader. Maybe that'll make it easier to read. Okay, maybe a little. L1, still a terrible tag. I don't know what it's trying to do on me. Out of the box tag. Okay, well, so what circuit's that on? Let me click the tag and I'll just go over here and pick the one that shows me the circuit. Oh, okay. Do I have to tag it twice? Oh my gosh, no, come on Revit. Why don't you have a tag that shows me the panel and the circuit? Okay, guys. Families 101. Revit out of the box, pretty disappointing. I ought to be able to just tag this sucker and it tells me that it's on L1 circuit 7. In fact, let's go verify that. Over here under my panel schedules, I'm going to go to L1, double click that. It says I've got 4 receptacles, 180 each on a 20 amp breaker. I told you it defaulted to 20 amp. It knows they're there. It knows it's L1 7, but my tag is useless. So what do we do? Electrical device panel tag, electrical device circuit tag. I don't care which one you pick, but we're going to take the device circuit tag because I want to, it's a device and I want to show the circuit that it's on. Niraj, I see you raised a hand. Please just type it into the chat or the Q&A and I'll see if I can get to it. We are going to click the tag and up here at the top, edit family. This is like opening, if you're not okay, using the block editor. Okay, what we're looking at a 1. Label. It's the circuit number. So that's why it's just showing us the 7 on the other. It's just showing us the circuit number. Well, I want to see the panel name also. So I'm going to add that over here. I want it to show up first in this line. So I'm going to move it up. I need to put a dash in between it. My sample value, I'm going to give it H1 or just L1A. And this is going to be circuit number 24, right? So this will read that and just show me what it's going to look like. So if I click apply, okay, there's my tag. It shows me my panel, the dash, and the circuit. All right. So now I fixed that, right? All I did, real simple, was come in and edit the label of this tag. Now, most tags in Revit are that simple. You can get real fancy if you want. The mark, comments, anything else you can add that's a data field that you can pull in over here, you can do that. But for this tag, this particular just tagging receptacles, all I want is that. Load into project and close. Do you want to save changes? When it asks that, it's like, do you want to save it to the desktop or to your server? No, I just want it to load into the family. I'm always choosing the second one because I'm always messing with the parameter values. That's what the label tags are, is a parameter value. So I never click that one, I just do that. And look at that. Now, electrical device circuit tag actually works for it. These are still the other panel tags. So I'm going to control click those, come over here and change them to device circuit tags. Now we're getting somewhere, right? Turn off our leaders, move them closer, neaten this thing up. Don't need the leader. Don't need the leader. All right, looking much better. Oh, I need to say something about that one data port. What if they decide to put the TV over here? What if this is a TV receptacle? This is where you can just, for real basic, like if you're just trying to get your first Revit project out of the door, annotate text, verify mounting height prior to installation, or even better, rough in. Where'd it go? I've got this annotation crop border around the edge. When I click on this border, my crop border, it's got this. There's my text. When I got that up there, it made it disappear. Anyway, so take that, just like mText, pulling that out, pull it over here. Up here, the arrows are built in. Do that, give myself a little landing, and there we go. So now you would just plunk your receptacles all over, just like this. Device, fixture, standard receptacle. There's one. There's one. And that's just where you go. Looks like there's a wall behind her. So we'll put one here. Do you need a floor receptacle? Well, that's even more advanced. Sorry, guys. What you'll have to do is click, I think, place on work plane, and then just drop it there. And you get this ugly rectangle box. That's the 3D element coming through. You can fix that, but it's outside the scope of just getting started with Revit out of the box. Again, it's a limitation. Do we not have a floor fixture? F-L-O-O-R. No floor receptacles. So thank you very much. I'm going to try, if you're looking for anything and you don't know what it's categorized as, you can click component. That's like everything in Revit. So I click the drop down, I'm typing floor lamps. That's all they give us, floor lamps, no floor receptacles. The way I got that on that floor again, it's trying to stick to the wall, but let's go back to that. Systems, device, fixture. The standard duplex out of the box really wants to stick to something. I guess I could stick it to this furniture here, but I don't trust the architect to leave that furniture. So I'm going to click on place on work plane instead of vertical face, which it always defaults to. The vertical face here is this little wall. Work plane is just the floor or the top of the desk. It doesn't matter for us, but I'm just going to stick that there. And maybe I'm going to have a note or something about that being a floor receptacle, provide 2 data ports, et cetera, et cetera. So you see how I'm placing stuff here. The same thing with this data port. Let's go do that. Device, data. Got my basic plain data outlet. It wants to stick it on the wall. I'm going to do place on work plane and just put it there. If you want to get rid of that rectangle, you can hit edit family and go dive in and figure it out. But today, that's out of scope. All right, so there's some things. I wanted to get to single line diagram. I know we've only got about 10 minutes left, But here's our power distribution system. Lights, that's a whole nother topic, but it works the same as receptacles to circuiting. So we need, real quick, we need some more panel schedules. I need to create this one's panel schedule. Default. So it made L2, there's nothing on it. But I need placeholders, right? So I'm going to highlight all of those. Let's see. All right, what did I tell it? I told it was a 24 circuit panel, didn't I? Is that what's going on here? Another Revit limitation. I told it was 24 circuits. The default panel schedule gave me all 42. Thanks, don't need all 42. But for now, I want to assign spares. Just say you need to buy these, even if they're not circuited for anything. If I try to click 25, I can't assign a spare or space because I told it was only a 24 circuit panel. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight these, assign a spare on this side. That way, if they put this out to a contractor before we circuit anything, they know they at least need to buy a fully loaded 24 circuit panel board. I mean, this doesn't have anything for special stuff like 60 amp, 2 poles or anything like that, but you know, it's good enough for pricing, right? Same thing here. Can we go? This one, L1, is a 42 circuit panel. So I'm going to go ahead and assign spares. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with spares. All right, pretty cool, huh? Okay, we need another panel for L3. Click, create, use default, and there's L3. Those are all showing up over here on the project browser. We need them on a sheet. I've already got a sheet called single line diagram. That sounds like a good place to put my panels. So I'm going to click, drag, and drop. L1. We stick it here. L2. Notice how it has nice little snap lines. Helps me line it up. Okay, panels are on there. Good enough for bidding, right? Might need to add some spares to this one. Definitely need to add some spares to this one, but pretty close there, right? And this is me moving fast, knowing what I'm doing, not having anything here, and it's still taken me almost an hour to get to this point. So now you can see Revit out of the box. If you've got a template set up already, or if you've got that productivity pack, this should move a bit faster. You won't have bugs like this with empty ones that don't match. It'll automatically shrink it to 24. Your receptacles, if you got the productivity pack, or you've got someone who's developed some non-hosted, they don't have to be stuck on walls receptacles, you can put those. Your lighting, your circuit tags are probably fixed already, but out of the box, you got to fix all that stuff on your own. Single line diagram. Where's the single line button? All of the information for a single line is pretty much here. If I go to manage and I look at electrical settings, well, it's got wire sizes, voltage, distribution systems. I'm pretty sure when they sold me Revit, they said it would do all this stuff for me. It would do everything automatically. It's all here. So where's my single line button? Yeah, no luck. There is a hack where you can do a 3D like section elevation view of your plan, and it'll show you your fixtures like this. So if I draw this guy and I'm looking into my plan, I'm going to right click, go to view of my section. It shows me my panels. I'm going to tag them in this view. Turn off my leader. There's H, T, L1, L2, L3, right? Now, this is my trick. This is my hack. I'm going to go to my view graphics for this section view. First, I'm going to shrink this down so it's only looking at my equipment. I'm going to go to view, visibility graphics, Revit links. I'm going to turn off all my Revit links. I'm going to turn off everything that is a physical thing, but I'm going to leave on all of the tag type stuff. Didn't work, did it? Okay, visibility graphics. We need to turn these on. We need to show everything. Okay, all, turn them all off. Go to electrical equipment. It still needs to be shown, but it needs to be invisible. So my tags will show. Still showing. This is such a pain, guys. It really is. This is the workaround for it. If we want to override it, I'm pretty sure we have to do some sort of crazy thing like this. Patterns don't, it needs to be there. I can't turn it off, but there's a way to make it invisible. There we go. So we got these tags. And now you can actually, shoot, you can grab the tags and organize them. If you grab the equipment, move it, you're kind of screwed. But you can grab that tag, at least the tags are smart. And then you would just draw a line, annotate, detail line. You could draw a line. I can't even see my line. So this was the hack. This was the how to make it smart. You'll see other videos on how to do that. The Productivity Pack uses this and makes it a lot easier than what I'm showing you. But if you need to do a single line yesterday and it's due tomorrow, then if you're still in AutoCAD, stick with AutoCAD. Eventually you'll transition over to drafting here in this. So let me just show you real quick how to get started. You got a view, drafting view, single line diagram. Just set it to 12 inches equals a foot. All right, let's type some text in there, just because I don't know where I'm at. Panel H, can't even see it. Double click my mouse, there it is, okay. Detail line, this is the same thing as a line in a polyline in AutoCAD. Click it. Let's see, I want to use a wide line. Oh man. There's that. Let's see, let's turn this into a block at least. There's a group button. We'll just call it panel. Now I can copy the thing for L1. See how it won't let me go diagonal? It's this constraint button. We're going to go here and here. I'm going to copy this guy. Should have copied it with it, but I didn't. Copy. So from this point to here and here and here. Rename this sucker. So these are not smart tags, and you can't make them smart tags. So sorry. If you change your panel name, you better come over here and fix it, or you're going to be up a creek. All right. How about the in between detail line? I could select that. You can select the whole line by tab, hover tab, click. I'm going to do the mirror. And there we go. Now I got to draw another one. So detail line from here to here. What about my transformer? I got to draw a transformer symbol. There's no transformer symbol in Revit. So you have to draft it, semicircles, copy them anyway. One thing you might be tempted to do is import your AutoCAD stuff. Don't want you to import AutoCAD into Revit. It will clutter up the model because it brings in all the stuff from AutoCAD. Link it in and trace over it, and then turn them into groups. So you can link a CAD file with insert link CAD, and you can just go get one of your drafting views. Where'd it go? There it is. From somebody, right? If you need to trace it. So I would say trace over it, or just leave it like that. Do it in AutoCAD. Yeah. Just continue using AutoCAD that way. Eventually you'll get advanced enough that you won't have to do that. So let me get rid of that. Back to our panel. So I just drew it. You probably have a table that shows you what sizes these are, but if you're just a small deal and you always type in annotate text, you know, 3 number 12 ground and 1.5 inch conduit, right? There's your text. Click the arrow. Most advanced, one of the most advanced softwares, at least they have the corner on the market. Same thing, so copy, move it over here. Need my arrow the other way. I'm just gonna click this delete and create a new one. Use your finger key, your keys on your keyboard to nudge things. Copy. So you see the tedium of this. Once you do a few of these in Revit, you'll have your blocks created and you'll be able to drag and drop. You'll have your existing, you'll have gray lines and that sort of thing ready to go. You need to put this thing on a sheet. Single line diagram. It's a drafting view. If it didn't show up here, just keep clicking pluses until you find the thing. There it is. Drag it onto your sheet. Uh-oh, what did I do? I drew it way too big. Ah, well, that's out of the box. You got to play with it to make it work how you want. All right. So there it is. Maybe I'll need another sheet. You can right click, new sheet. I don't know which title block, we'll just guess. And our new sheet, this sheet, we'll rename it. We'll call it panel schedules. Right click, rename, tab, panel schedules. Right click, rename. Keep doing the sheet number E109, single line. And now I can drag it from here to this one. There. Now I have a panel schedule sheet and I have a single line sheet. Be sure to save. Okay, everybody, that is the hour. You definitely need to know about this. This engineers already did the productivity pack. I worked for 4 engineering firms that didn't even come close to the level of development these people did. You saw how much of a hack job that was that I just did, and that was just doing out of the box. If I wanted to do anything complicated, like say a GFCI receptacle that has a solid dot, I got to customize it. If I wanted to use a different font, I got to customize it. It's so much. People forget that when AutoCAD came out in the 80s and 90s, everybody loved customizing it. Well, nobody wants to customize Revit. We got stuff to do. We don't have time for that. We need the thing to work. This is the solution to where's the rest of Revit? Why does it not work for me out of the box? Got a meme for you. Because they have a corner of the market and they could sell it and we have to buy it. So the CTC, we partnered with them as ATG, and you want to go here and you want to download this information kit and the brochure and watch the demo and call your salesperson here at ATG and ask for a personal demonstration of the stuff that comes with this. Here's just a taste. It will calculate all this stuff for you. Revit can do it. Do you have time to figure out how to do it? No. So follow up with this, search YouTube for some more of this. Just search MEPPP, that's, or MEP3. But this is your website up here. Go to the ATG website and you can click up here under products and where is it? Software. I don't know where it is, but it's buried in here. But this is the thing, MEP Productivity Pack, and it will take you light years ahead of what I just did in an hour. Thank you, everybody. Rewatch this. Can object styles in the productivity pack be customized? The whole thing can be customized. It's pretty good out of the box itself. But yeah, that's a big question people have. It comes with its own standards, but yeah, you can tweak them. You can definitely tweak them, Tim. Very good. Thank you, everyone. And look for the recording on YouTube. Be sure to watch it at 2x speed so you don't have to listen to my pauses and ums. And how soon will this be on YouTube? Oh, gosh. You know, the recording will process itself and be ready within the hour. I don't know why it takes so long. But then to get it published to YouTube, that's our marketing team. They're usually pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll chime in here. Yeah, it normally, I'll have it up by the beginning of next week.
Okay, so all righty. Very good. Thanks, everyone. If you have any questions, call your ATG sales rep. You pull up that website. Let's see, contact us, call us and say, I need training. I need productivity pack demonstration. Just call that number, do this, or go to atgusa.com and fill this out, and someone will be in touch with you. And you notice how the training is the exact same information as sales. So good luck on that one. And thank you very much. We will see you next time.